and welcome to the school board report for September. I'm Carmen Cortez, and I'm here with board member John Landers. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Landers.
Yep. Thanks, Carmen. Always great to be here, and I think we're all happy for a little rain after the last few weeks. So we're out here today in the BHS courtyard.
One of the things I noticed on the agenda for September meeting was something new for the Boardman High School's cafeteria courtyard. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. I think one of the cool things that the board members and I get to do, especially when reunions are in town, is to kind of take them through their old buildings. Because for some of them, whether it be the class of 75 that we're going to talk in a little bit, or class of 59, sometimes they haven't been in those buildings in 20 or 30 years. But really the class of 75, and I think, primarily led by Fred Davis, who's a former board member, and Debbie Liptak, who's so involved in the community, is they also raised some money for the Boardman Schools Fund for Educational Excellence. And we took them through a tour with Mr. Zura, and there's some students here helping to show them the new steam room, the updates in the gym, as well as the Performing Arts Center, because class of 75, the BPAC wasn't even there for them. So that's fun to do, and they had some additional money raised that they wanted to give back to the high school, and Mr. Zura was there, and we know that the courtyard's open for lunch, and he suggested umbrellas. So hopefully we're in the process of ordering the umbrellas, and not sure if they'll be here by the end of fall, but definitely for next spring and the end of the school year, have a little extra shade when they're out here eating lunch. So we're excited about that, and just thankful to the class of 75.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I didn't know much about it. There are also some items on the agenda regarding building improvements, namely the new roof at the Glenwood and Chiller here at high school. Can you talk about that?
Sure. I think we acknowledge, and we're transparent that we do have aging buildings. So part of why we have a permanent improvement funding source is to make capital improvements and updates to those buildings to make sure that they're safe and secure. So part of that is continuing to replace roofs on buildings. So we did a lot of work at Glenwood over the summer, and I believe we're about to start some work at West Boulevard and Stadium Drive as well. And some work that we approved, probably maybe 6 months or so ago, is to replace what is probably the original chiller of the high school that allows for cooling, especially during the warmer months. Because of the supply chain and the lead times to get those parts, I think we approved that. I can't remember the exact date, but probably sometime in the spring. But now as the weather starts to get cooler and it stays consistently cooler, we're hopeful that we can start that work in the next few weeks. The work will be done in the evenings as not to disrupt the school day. And so hopefully, by the time we do hit the warmer weather, it's going to be a much more consistent and cooler experience in the spring and towards the end of the school year. It's a project we needed to do, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to get it started in the next few weeks.
The state report cards were released for the schools across Ohio. As a board member, how do you feel about those report cards?
So, we're starting to do a deeper dive into that data, led by Mr. Superintendent Neifer and Jared Cardillo, who's our director of instruction. I think, we are a little frustrated maybe, that we went down half a star from 4 to 3.5 stars overall. But we did make good improvements in terms of gap closing and some other items. We do acknowledge that the new component, which is for the first year, was fully graded, the career and employment kind of readiness, we did not do well, but there were already actions that we've started to take this school year by things like the STEAM Lab, continuing to offer additional AP courses as well as College Credit Plus courses that should help improve that in the future. And there were also bright spots in terms of the buildings. I think Glenwood received 4.5 stars, which is a high for them. West Boulevard continues to be strong. I think they were 5 stars once again, and achieved probably their highest performance index, which is kind of out of 110, I believe they were at 105 out of 10 for their performance index, which is the highest in the last few years.
I think that's nice because, since they added the STEAM Lab, and I think a lot of students would love to do stuff like that.
Yeah, there's some cool classes being offered in there. So.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to add, Mr. Landers?
Sure. We're already approaching the end of September, and a lot of events coming up. And surprisingly, it's the 25th anniversary of the BPAC. So really makes me feel old, as it's my 25-year high school reunion this year. So we'll be doing some special events. The Fall Pops concert is, I believe, October 22nd at 7 p.m. So that's always a great event. And then I know I'm sure a lot of our elementary school students are excited about Frozen, which is a new show that we've never done here before. So I believe on November 20th, 21st, and 22nd, there'll be shows at 7 p.m. in the BPAC, and also on November 22nd, there'll be a 2 p.m. matinee show. So stay tuned for where to get tickets for that, and we really encourage you to come and see what our amazing Drama Guild and our performers are able to do.
Well, thank you for joining me, Mr. Landers. Yep. My name is Carmen Cortez for BSTN, and have a great day, Spartans.